Hey, I'm going to talk about tension and pulling off the floor. So right here, we have Sam on the right, and he's going to be doing some deadlifts. And then we have Cole here, and she's actually doing a clean and jerk. But the idea is still the same: is we're picking something off the ground. Whenever we pick something off the ground, we like to call this a pull, and that's what we're going to break down. So right now, we're just going to break down Sam's position right now. So what you're going to see is in a very rounded position. You're like, well, that's not good. Well, it's not bad. Like, in order to bend over, a lot of times we have to round, and that's okay. So then what's going to happen is he's going to get tight. He's going to set up, brings his head up, and now look at his back. It's nice and straight. It is wonderful. We really like this position. The issue is, you might have saw it because I went a little too far, is that when he starts pulling, his back starts rounding, and pretty aggressively as well. So we really see that rounding in the back, and that is not what we want to see. We want that back to stay nice and flat the entire time. So you can see as he pulls, that back is staying rounded the whole time. But when he comes back to set up, he sets up in a decent position, and right, that back is nice and flat, his head is up, really nice position. So we're going to come over and we're going to check out Cole. So you're going to notice, she's somewhat rounded right now, right? See how slight round in that back, right? Just like with Sam in that very start, right? He starts here with the hips kind of high, some rounded, right? We see both positions slightly rounded. Now, when Cole pulls into position, you're notice again she has that flat back. The hips are in a little different position because she's doing a different movement. But again, the theory, the concepts are the same. So now she starts pulling, and now notice that her back position doesn't change as she's pulling off the floor, as she's lifting that weight off the floor. So that's what we want. Now, why is that happening? Why is she staying tight and Sam is not? So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. When we pull off the floor, we want to do two things. One, we want to get into a proper position, which is Sam is doing. The second thing we want to do is that we want to engage our muscles, and we want to pull tension into our muscles. So if I were to move, to kind of shake this barbell, right? If I were to shake that barbell with not pulling on it, there's going to be some give, right? There's some room between the plate and the bar, right? So you have the hole for the weight, and then the bar goes inside of that, and this room right here is going to leave some tension. The second thing we want to do is we want to get tight, and we want to get that bar so that bar starts straight. But when we have weights on it, what's going to happen is when we pull it, there's going to be a slight bend to that bar. So what we need to do is we need to get that bend into the bar, and we need to get that slack between the plate and the bar out of it. And then we're going to get into a good position, and we're going to get tension in our hamstrings and back and midline. So when Cole is pulling down here, what's happening is she's getting tight in the hamstrings, she's getting tight in the shoulders and the lats. And then what she's also doing is she's bending that bar slightly as well. And that's going to be hard to tell here, but she's getting that tension. And how you can tell that she has that tension is when she pulls from the floor, the bar pulls immediately. So what that means is if that bar is straight, so if we watch Sam, the bar is straight, and then he starts pulling. See how when he starts moving, the bar doesn't move? That's because the bar wasn't slightly bent. We didn't get that gap out of the plates. So that's thing number one, is get the tension into the bar, get the slack out of the plates, out of the bar. Now, this is going to be a little more subtle but I want you to watch Cole's shoulder right here, shoulder and lats. As she's pulling up on that bar, what you're going to see is that her shoulders are going to come back slightly. So they're kind of forward, and then see that right there? You're going to see the lat and the shoulder come back very slightly. So again, watch right here. Back. Right here. See that? What that doing, it's getting that body, it's getting that upper body to be under tension. It's getting those muscles activated. And then the bar can actually be lifted. So right here, when Sam is pulling, he's in the right position, but he's not activated, right? See how the shoulder just stays in that same exact spot? There's no movement of that shoulder. There's no activating of the lats. The hamstrings don't move. They move a little bit. There's probably some tension in the hamstrings, but that upper body, there's just no tension. So if we can get that bar to bend and get those lats and shoulders to come back and activated, this would help this position so we don't have that rounded back position. So we talked to, during class, I was coaching Sam up on this, making sure that he kind of understands that. And like right after this video, we broke it down and he was like, oh, okay, that makes so much sense, right? We talked about all these things and we did another video, or we did another rep right after that, and it looked a lot better. So 2 things. Barbell, get it bent. Get the slack out of the plates. Get tension in your muscle groups, especially the shoulder and the lats. All right, shoulders and the lats. This is how you keep a good position when pulling off of the floor. It'll help keep you safe. It'll help keep your back healthy. It'll help you lift more weight. Hope this was helpful. Add another tool to your toolbox. Cheers.